everyone, thanks for tuning in to Anyday Blessings. I was hoping to get this video up to you soon. I know so many are shopping for the back to school season, and I'm sorry about my air conditioner, but if I don't go now, I am not going to get this video up today, so I hope you can hear me over the roar in the background. I am going to do another homeschool potpourri sort of video today. They're just easiest for me than to try and do separate videos when I've got several different things to show you. This is going to be the first thing I'm going to talk about, My Story 1 from Master Books. It's a social studies program that we're going to be using this year. Then I'm going to show you a couple of things that we are looking at using for like a morning basket / family time sort of thing. I'll show you what we're going to do with these. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is just a little freebie haul that I got from verydice. I'm using verydice just to kind of supplement and get free fun things for our homeschool or things for my daughter's preschool, because I don't like to spend a lot of money on preschool, so I will show you those things. But first, we are going to hop into my review of one story, or it's really a preview because we haven't actually used it yet, but I have looked cover to cover and have come up with a plan of how we're going to use it, along with Beyond Little Hearts for His Glory from Heart of Dakota. And I'm going to let you know a couple things that you can't find on the preview that were tremendously helpful to me. I really think they should add these things to the preview because so many people have questions as to what this is. And it is a social studies program, but I think if they showed you this section right here, this glossary for social studies and glossary for geography, I think that would give people a much better idea of what's actually in here, because the table of contents is so exciting. It's really fun to think about traveling all around the world, but that gives it a geography flavor that I just really wasn't sure if this was going to work for us, because Heart of Dakota covers geography, and I knew we already had that, but we didn't have economics and civics and things like that, community, as much as I wanted and as much as my son wanted. So I am absolutely thrilled to find this. This is exactly what I was hoping to find. It's very easy to implement, it's very predictable, and I can't wait to show it to you. So I'm going to just read to you this real quick because I'm sure you can't read this. I'm just going to read to you what is included. Introductions to history, politics, economics, sociology, and geography, ultimately aiming toward a comprehensive understanding of God's world and the cultures of each country. So I'm going to tell you that the introductions to history are very brief. If you already have a comprehensive history program, this is not going to be redundant. It's just a very light introduction to history. It's, I would say, more so economic, sociology, geography, and civics. I would say it's more of those things. But there are little bits of history mixed in as well. If you are looking at using this as your only history for like a kindergarten or first grade, I think that would be absolutely fine to just use just this in your history social studies slot. This you can see on their website in their preview, so I'm not going to go too much over this, but this just gives you a flavor for all the different types of activities that they're going to do. They do have a schedule. I'm going to kind of go over with you how I plan to use this. I am not going to follow this schedule because I am already doing a history geography program through Heart of Dakota, and I don't want to add this to every single day, so I'm going to tell you at the end of this section of the video how I plan to actually use this. So before I get to that, I want to show you in the back here the section that I thought was like the gold in this book. If they would have showed this on the preview, I would have bought this right away. I wouldn't have asked as many questions as I did in the Moms Facebook group, which, just kind of a little side note, if you are not part of the Moms of Master Books Facebook group, you need to get over there, because they are doing weekly, or actually 2 times a week, they do videos, Facebook Live videos, and they offer giveaways. They do question and answer. It's just a very helpful group if you have questions about this or any of the other Master Book curriculum. So in that group, I was asking so many questions. Had I seen this page right here, I'm going to see if I can bring it up just a little bit So you can kind of see here, I'll zoom in on the history or the social studies terms there, and then geography terms there. And this just gives you a better idea of the kinds of things you're going to find in this course. You're going to talk about what is a consumer, what is economics, what is culture, what is rural versus urban, what's a suburb, what are goods and services, what are wants and needs. Those kinds of things are discussed in here. And then also, it's not just geography map work, but it's discussion of terms like land masses and bodies of water and habitats. So this page here, it looks pretty simple, but I wanted to see something like this in the table of contents to know actually what kinds of things we were actually going to cover in here. And had this been somewhere in the preview, I probably would have just bought it up right away. So I'm going to start here. Well, let's use a lesson in the middle of the book for you. I'm going to start here and just show you a week as it would be scheduled, and then I'm going to take a minute and just show you how we're actually going to use this. I know several people follow me to see how I use Heart of Dakota, and so you might want to know how I'm going to use this with the Beyond Little Hearts for His Glory guide this year. So first of all, as it's scheduled, each lesson is equivalent to 1 week. There are 36 lessons, 1 per week, and it is scheduled 5 days a week. So each week or each exercise, as it's called, is equivalent to a day. So exercise 1 would be reading this page, doing these activities. A lot of the activities are discussion and things like that. It's not real heavy on the writing if you don't want it to be. This is day 2. Day 2 always has some type of a picture that they color. This is day 3 or exercise 3. There's always a crossword on day 3. This is extremely predictable. Okay, that's what I love about it, and that's what's going to make it work with Heart of Dakota. This is day 4. There is always copy work on day 4 and always some sort of helping hands section where you get out into your community or focus on others and think about others. Love that section. This is day 5. This is always some type of review, and then the word collectors. This is kind of the little vocabulary section that they have every week on day 5. So that is what a week looks like in the book as scheduled. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to use this 2 days a week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the history readings in Heart of Dakota. They're very short. It's 2 to 3 pages. And we are going to probably combine lessons on the days that there is science scheduled, if that makes sense. So if you are familiar with the Heart of Dakota guide, you know that they schedule science 2 days a week. I am going to do science every day with my son, so that box really doesn't mean anything to us. My son absolutely loves science. He wants it every day, and he wants experiments every day. And although it is work for Mom, I'm fostering that, so we're going to do it. So those 2 science boxes are kind of like open for me, essentially, because I'm adding a whole nother box to our day. And so on the days where science is scheduled in Heart of Dakota, and if you know what, why don't I just show you my guide so I can show you what I'm talking about. I have got my guide right here. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So here is the box I'm referring to, okay? We'll read history on this day and then do geography. Then on this day we'll read history. Oh, there's a science day here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up on my history here. I'm going to double up and do the next day's history reading. And look, I've got another science day there, so I'm going to double up again on the next day. So days 2 and 3 in this unit, I will read 2 sections of history. Okay, so this and this I'll actually do on day 3. This and this I'll actually do on day 2. I hope that made sense. So then what I can do when I get to days 4 and 5, I can just do my my story. So the way I'm going to do my story is I'm going to double up on day 1 and day 2, and then days 3 through 5 will be one day. So because this has more reading, okay, I'm only going to do 2 days with, 2 days combined because of all that reading. I'm not going to have my son color the picture. He's not really into coloring pictures. My daughter will probably color this picture while I'm reading to my son and doing these other things with my son. So Masterbooks allows you to photocopy, so I'm going to photocopy this for my daughter to color while we do the reading that's scheduled on day 1. But my son probably won't do this coloring unless he wants to. So we'll read and we'll do these little activities, and that'll be day 1. For day 2, we'll start off with my son doing the puzzle, do these little talk times down here. They incorporate foreign language, which I think is so cool. We will do day 4's activity, but we will not do the copy work, okay? We will not do this copy work on day 4. So I'm kind of taking out sections from each of the days so that doubling up isn't really that big of a deal. And then we will also we won't really do review time, because since we're kind of doing it in 2 days, I don't really feel a need for review, because it's probably stuff we just talked about that same day. So we'll probably skip the review time and just do just this section from exercise 5 each week. So this is the only block we're going to do on this page every week. So just to kind of review, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking fast because I see that the video is already getting kind of long, and I want to get onto the other things I want to show you, but I just want to make sure you understand what I'm going to do. So on day 1, or not really day 1, on the first day that I do this, which might be Wednesday, Thursday, I don't have a set day. So on one day I will do 1 and 2, but without the coloring the picture time. On the second day of the week that I do this, I will do the puzzle, the activity, skip the copy work, and do the word collectors. Now, if I see that this is too much, it's adding too much time, I will just go ahead and add a 3rd day to this. I will. I'm going to double up on my history readings 2 days a week. That's all I'm going to double up on, though. I'm not going to double up my history readings more than that. So if this needs a 3rd day, this will end up just being tacked on to the history reading that we're doing. But as you can see, it's very light. This is something that has really interested my son, and so I don't think it's going to add that much time, and it's really going to add value to our homeschool day. So I am thrilled to have found that book. I am very enticed by all that Masterbook offers. As you'll see here, these are from Masterbooks as well. And you might see more of Masterbooks on my channel. I'm just going to tell you, I really, really love it. I do have a link below where you can find these books as well as my story if you would like. And these ones are actually part of the morning basket, the elementary morning basket pack. I looked at that pack, and some of the things either looked like resources we already had or things that I might want to use in the future, but my kids might not quite be ready for them now. But these 2 books in the elementary morning pack I felt were good to use now with our kids, but not in a daily way. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to pull this one out. This one here is 44 books of the Bible, and not books, I'm sorry, 44 animals of the Bible. This is such a pretty book. I mean, I just really love this book. So pretty to look at. And the readings are not necessarily devotional all the time. Some of them are just factual. They're just information about the animal itself and when it's used in the Bible. Some of them do have some maybe lesson applications to it, but for the most part, these are just kind of interesting tidbits, I would say. So the way that I would like to use this is I would like to come to here when we find these animals in our normal biology study, or if we happen to be doing nature study and we come across some of these animals, or we attend one of our local park programs and have, that animal is on the topic for the day or whatever. I want to just have this book just kind of in our library on our shelf. It's not something we're going to get out every day and do as they recommend for the elementary morning pack, but I just really liked this book, especially for my daughter. She's in preschool. I think it would just kind of be fun, to kind of say that, the animals that are mentioned in the Bible, some of them are still around today, and these are the lessons that we can learn from them. This book here, The Case of the Missing Mountain, I am looking at using this over the summer, next summer, as just our daily kind of fun thing to do. This one does actually have more meat to it as far as application and things like that. This is basically a fun kind of treasure hunt puzzle book way of teaching your children about the biblical account of the flood and defense of it, and doing science exploration to kind of prove that. And so they talk about earthquakes and volcanoes and how landforms have changed, and it didn't take millions and millions of years to do that. And I'm just flipping through here so you can just kind of get an idea of the different activities and things that you will get to do. But this is a lot more in here than maybe I would want to cover in a morning kind of routine kind of thing. This is something I would really want to get into and just do just this all at one time. So I'm thinking this will be a summer fun book for us to do all at once. There are several schedules for this in the Moms of Master Book group where you do just like 1 page a day along with other books. Or not 1 page a day, I'm sorry. You do 1 page a week and along with other books from the pack. And that's fine if that's how you want to do it. But to me, this book just seemed like something I wanted to do from start to finish. I want to show you back here. I think it's back here. Oh, wait, no, it's in the front. I'm sorry. There is an answer key to this book. If you go to thenaturettour.com, you can get a certificate and a ranger badge, and there's other online activities to go with this too. So this is something, again, that's in the elementary morning basket at masterbooks.com. There'll be a link below to this as well as to my story, and just some fun things that I found and thought I would show you. The last thing I'm going to do, and I'm sorry, I know this video is long. Thank you for watching if you're still with me. I picked up these 2 books for free on verydice, Jesus Hears Me and Jesus Is With Me, and I'm going to be putting up a review. I think there's something in this book. Oh, no, I guess this isn't closed very good for some reason. I think my daughter's got a hold of this one already. But these are actually going to go with my daughter's preschool. I'm going to hopefully get a video up soon showing you what I'm doing for her preschool. I'm going to do Memoria Press this year for her. I've never used a complete Memoria Press guide, but I'm going to try that this year. And then this is something, I really wasn't sure what this was, but again, it was free on verydice, so I just did it. This is like a scrunch map or whatever. It's made of like, I don't know. It's waterproof supposedly and rip proof. I don't know what it is, and you can just like scrunch it up and put it in this bag. And I don't know. I'm really not sure what it was, but it got such good reviews that I thought, oh, well, for free, I'll just pick it up. And we needed a world map anyway, so here we are. So I'm not really sure what the little gadgety trick is with this thing and like why it's like, scrunch map. Why is that? I don't know. But it's free. So this is what I got from verydice. If you're not familiar with that, I will try and link the video that I did explaining the app. I will say there have been some changes with it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to use it or not, but I will let you know. I've gotten a ton of free homeschool books using the app up to this point, but they've recently made some changes that I kind of have to figure out before I see if I'm still going to recommend it to people. So I will try and link a video below on that app and how I use it to get free stuff for my homeschool. Sorry guys that this was almost 20 minutes long. Thanks for hanging in there with me if you're still watching. Any questions, please leave them in the comments, and hope that you let me know. Let me know if you try my story or the morning basket from Master Books. I have fallen in like love with Master Books. I really, really love their stuff, and I'm hoping to use more of it in the future, so stay tuned for that. Take care, everyone. Thanks. Bye-bye.